Hi guys, Grizzly Grunt here. Back for my second video. I wasn't sure what to do for the second video. I talked to a couple friends of mine, and based off what I went over on my first video, they wanted me to delve into some of those, I guess, subcategories. And they talked me into doing one for fire starting because it's cold outside. So after I thought about it for a bit and told them what I thought about their family heritage, because I realized they just want me to go outside and freeze my butt off because it's been 7 degrees this morning, and I think the high today is 20 with a pretty good wind. So they just want me to go out and freeze my butt off. So I figure I'll do the first portion inside while my hands still work, and then the second portion I'll do outside when I'm probably going to catch myself on fire, which would probably feel good.
There is no fire.
With 20-degree weather. So moving on. So we're going to go over fire starting, like I said before. So having the knowledge to do that, and then having the stuff and prepping yourself, getting ready to go. So what I do normally is I keep a little kit like this that I made up in a waterproof case, which, as you can see, I need to get a new case because this one's cracked. Anyway, you can put in like any small Tupperware case, or maybe even one of those little black things you get from the Chinese restaurant. Put your to-go stuff in. It might be a little big, but you get the drift. Something waterproof that you can throw in a bag to keep all your stuff dry. Okay, so some of the things I have in here, I have these little wet fire starting tinder things. They're about the size of one of those mints, the packaging is, and I keep about a half a dozen here. And they're sealed, so they'll stay dry. Of course, matches. We're going to talk more about that later on. Got a lighter in here, just a regular Bic lighter. Now with lighters, you can use the Bic lighter, or they have those fancy butane lighters that you can use to light cigars with, or whatever, something like that. That's fuel, but just think that fuel is going to go a lot faster because it's pressurized than, say, a Bic lighter would. And these are probably a lot less finicky in the cold than I would say one of those. I haven't tested that. Maybe that's another video. I'll test out stuff when it's super cold outside on like a weekend. Okay. Something else, you guys are going to laugh. Tampon. No, it's not that time of the month for me.
So much blood!
But these are made of cotton. You can pull out, stretch out the cotton just like you would a cotton ball. And you can use that to help kindle, to start your fire with. I keep one in here. So guys, you can go to the store and buy tampons, which is a little awkward. It's like going to women's lingerie by yourself. But anyway, steal some from your girlfriend, your wife, whatever the case may be. Then we have a waterproof match case. These are actually waterproof matches. Or I'm sorry, yes, they're waterproof, but they're called lifeboat matches. As you can see, they're tipped, and then that will burn all the way down. Think about a minute or 30 seconds, something like that. You can put it in the water. It'll still burn underwater. I've seen that before. High winds, they'll still burn until they get done with all the chemical that's they're coated with. With these, though, I will say they have that little strike bar in the bottom. That strike bar doesn't work as well as you think it would. So if you're going to do that, or if you're going to put any of your matches in one of these and reuse it, if you get these strike boards off the side of a regular box of matches, just cut those off and stuff them down in there like this. This came with the lifeboat matches, of course, but that's a good backup. If you cut those off, put them in here, and they're waterproof. As you can see, it's got a little O-ring right there. So that goes in there. Those are pretty nice, but they're not cheap. So there's an alternative to making waterproof matches that I'm going to go over with here in a second. And of course, some type of striking ferro rod. This is pretty simple, self-contained. Put it down, give it a strike. I'll show you guys how that works outside. Hopefully the light is on our side when we get out there. It's pretty bright out today with the sun shining off the snow. We got some snow that's been there. It's pretty chilly. Okay. So we talked about matches a second ago, waterproofing them. So you can get your normal kitchen matches. And what you can do, you can go and get you some clear nail polish, which I'm sure most masculine men have lots of this laying around. Or you get it from your girlfriend or your wife, whoever. And what you can do is you can brush it on. You can brush it on one of the matches, or you can take it and dip the head of it in there. I usually go about equal length past the tip of the match head. Hold it there, just dip it. Let it bleed off, and what it does is it seals it. Get the excess off. Let it dry. I usually get like a paper plate, like I have right here. I got a paper plate, and I lean it up against the side and let it dry. You know, the whole ring. Or if you have some, maybe some styrofoam, you can stick it in there so they stay up and stay dry. But once that dries, you can put it back in the box. I waterproofed all these earlier, and I'm going to show you that they all work. Not all, but they work outside when we get out there. And then I would stick this in a Ziploc bag or something, because if the whole match gets soaking wet, it's eventually going to bleed up to the wood, because wood, you know, soaks up moisture. So put this in a Ziploc bag, or take those waterproof matches and put them in something like this. You can get these at your like any sporting goods, hunting outdoor store for a couple bucks. You can order them online too. They're not much. They're pretty compact, and of course they're waterproof. I will tell you though, I don't buy nail polish, and that crap is not cheap. That's like $8 that little bottle. But think about it, it's a lot of matches you can do. Something else, another, not necessarily starter, but a fuel to help start your fires. We talked about it in the last video also, is cotton balls. So you take cotton balls and you put them in some Vaseline. I'm sure some of you weirdos have this laying around for the weekends or for bumps and scratches or whatnot. But take a cotton ball and get you a big wad of Vaseline and coat it until it's super sticky like that. And I even talked about last week, get you some lint from the dryer. You can do the same thing. This one looks like something your cat hacked up. So put those in a pill bottle, empty pill bottle. I would use a bigger pill bottle so you can put more in there. You can use a normal medicinal pill bottle that you get for prescription medications, but those can't hold as much. Those would be better suited, in my opinion, for matches, just because they're smaller. Whereas the bigger ones like this, you can fit probably about half a dozen to 10 cotton balls in one of these if you smush them in there really good. Just make sure you coat it, like overcoat those cotton balls so they hold that moisture. And then something else to think about. All joking aside, if you're out in the woods, it's hot, whatever the case is, you're going to get, if you get any chafing, you can get one of those cotton balls, put some on your finger and rub it on those chafe spots. Get a little monkey butt between your thighs, or chafing because of your backpack in a certain area, can help alleviate and make that a bit more comfortable when you're out there walking around the woods. I think that is about it for now. So what we're going to do, the next part of this video, I'm going to be outside freezing my butt off for your enjoyment. So stick around, and I will see you in the next part of this video. Hey guys, outside freezing my butt off. Remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends if you want to see me suffer more out here. I should have said that at the beginning of the video, but I'm saying it now. So we're going to go over a few tools to help you get ready for harvesting that wood. Of course, you got your bow saw. There are more compact ones. There's another one I really like, and mine grew legs somewhere in my travels around the world. It's called a Sven saw. Pretty good. A good knife. Doesn't have to be huge. Don't need to be Rambo out here.
Nice.
That's something with a little bit of weight, so if you need to do any heavy carving or what we call battening, which I'll go over that here in a second, or something smaller or a little bit larger, like a hatchet. Okay, this is your traditional hatchet. This is made for me by some friends of mine. If you'd like to hear more about that, let me know. Shoot me a message, and I'll see if I can get you some more information on it. But it's made from a leaf spring off a vehicle. But it's pretty good edge, small enough where I can do little stuff. Just make sure that you're careful when you're doing this stuff. I don't need anybody losing a finger and blaming it on me or anything like that. So, or heck, even a pocket knife can be used for little things like getting some little wisp of wood out there to start for kindling if you need to. Okay. Something else we talked about, batoning earlier. You can use that with your hatchet. You can use that with your fixed blade knife. All that is batoning, batting, whatever the term is. You're gonna get you a knife, heavier piece of wood, put it on there, or your hatchet, and just smack it, split that wood if you don't have a hatchet or a full-size axe. For this, I would recommend a full-size knife. Your pocket knife is going to dull up pretty quick, and it may not have the weight to go through it, or it might break. So having a fixed blade knife, nothing too crazy. Like I said, this one is about a medium-sized knife. Anything bigger than that, I think you're just wanting to be like Rambo. Okay, so That should be a couple tools you can use. And of course, a full-size axe is great, but if you're in the backcountry, you're not going to take a full-size axe. You're going to take something like a fixed blade knife on your kit or a hatchet. Like I said, this is a modified hatchet, a little different. And of course, you're always going to have a pocket knife on you in the woods. So those three things, and get you what you need to do to gather the wood and start some fires. Okay, guys, so what we went ahead and did, or I went ahead and did, is I went ahead and split up some wood, some other little subsections for you, so you can do. This is my smallest kindling. Some shavings, real small sticks. You can use some leaves. There's lots of snow out here today, so we're not going to get any leaves out here of this. But all I did was I took a log of this size here, broke it down into smaller pieces until you get something like this. This is going to be your starter stuff. This stack, this larger stick stacked on top, so on and so forth. You want to start off with these two primarily. Have a lot more of this and a lot more of this, and these two. These are going to burn a lot faster than these will, just because they're more dense. Okay, so using some of this stuff here, I just took my hatchet and did all that stuff. You can also use your fixed blade knife. So biggest thing is once you get all that down, make sure you have more than enough. There's nothing worse than getting a fire started and then running out of damn kindling or wood because you didn't stack up enough. Okay, so if there's just you by yourself, definitely want to have somebody else getting wood. If not, have enough where you can get that fire going and get it started. If it's windy out, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about if it's snowing outside and a few other things if it's been raining or whatnot. So all right, we're going to move on to the next part of the video. Thanks. Hi guys, so we're over here at the fire ring now. We're going to show you some of this. So I want to apologize. My camera kind of is acting funky here lately, so I've been using my laptop to do this. But starting out, if you don't have a perfect fire ring like this, if you're out in the woods, if it's windy, like we talked about earlier, get you a couple pieces of firewood to block on both sides. What that'll do is help block the wind wherever it's coming. And also, if you have wood that's a little bit wet, what you can do with that as you get that fire built is you can lay that wet wood across it to help kind of dry it out if it's a little bit damp. So what we're going to start out with here is I'm going to show you how well this stuff burns. This is just dry lint and then a dry cotton ball. And then we'll show you what those other ones will do. And I'm going to show you how well those waterproof matches work real quick. So this is one of those waterproof matches I did with fingernail polish. So as you can see, it lights right up. There is the cotton ball. And there is the lint. Ooh, it's hot. So as you can see, those burn pretty well. You can get some started, and that lint must have some hair in there because I can smell burnt hair. That is not a good smell.
Harry?
Yeah. So you can put those underneath some kindling just like this here, and you can get those to light pretty well. All right, so while that's burning, I'm going to get that burning one of those cotton balls soaked in Vaseline. And Vaseline is basically petroleum jelly. It might take a little bit longer to light. But once it gets lit, it will stay going for a good long time. See if we can get it going here. Remember, fire only needs three things: fuel, oxygen, and heat. So as you can see, that's a little bit slower to get burning, but it's going to have a longer burn to it once it gets going. And then while that one's burning, I'm going to go ahead and light up if I don't catch myself on fire. Foreboding, right? Well, now, one thing I noticed, that petroleum jelly, the Vaseline on there, it's going to let off a black smoke just because it's a petroleum-based product. So those are going to burn for a good long time. So we'll let those burn down. But once you get those burning, what you can go ahead and start doing, like I said, is you can get a little bit of kindling. If you noticed, because of all the snow, what I went ahead and did is I got another piece of wood to put underneath it to keep it dry. As that snow or that wet melts, or the moisture on there. So got those going a little bit. And those will burn, I don't know, probably a good 10 minutes. The cotton balls, I mean. I think somebody said 5 to 10 minutes, something like that, depending on how much, Vaseline, petroleum jelly, whatever you want to call in there. Okay, and then like I said before, as this gets a little bit bigger, those logs a little bit closer. Teepee is one of the better ones, in my opinion, just because it's simple. Log cabins are great if you can prepare it. But as you can see, that petroleum jelly is staying a good long time. I like it. It's simple. It's easy. It's a little messy at the get-go, but one cotton ball, of course there are two here, will go a good long time. So as it gets bigger, make sure the wood is dry. A couple things. As that's going, I'm going to talk more about this. If you're out in the woods and it's wet, it's been snowing, it's been raining for a couple days, trying to find wood that's laying on the ground is going to be difficult, or finding dry wood at least. So what you can do is find wood that's what they call squaw wood. So any wood off trees, like dead tree branches. These trees are pretty live, but if you have go out and you see a dead tree and it has tree branches that are poking out, and you can get a rope over it, or if you're tall enough or it's low enough where you can snap it off, that wood, while it might be wet, it's more dry than water than wood's been sitting on the ground. The same thing if you find any dead trees that are laying over in the ground, that wood that's not touching the ground is going to be a lot drier, because theoretically only on one side of it should be wet unless it's one of those monsooning rains. So that's just a couple things. That's my favorite way to start a fire. Use a ferro rod with some of those shavings. It's kind of cold and wet right now. Sometimes with ferro rod and that wood, it's a little bit more work. So right now, cotton balls is what we're going to go with. Maybe it gets a little warmer in the season. If you'd like to see me use a ferro rod or one of the strikers to start that wood, let me know. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to know anything more about my tools, let me know. Oh, and also one more thing. Remember, there's no such thing as cheating if you're trying to stay alive. Okay, so people, they're going to comment and say, oh, that's cheating using that or using this method. No such thing as cheating. Yeah. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work and you don't have the means, this is the ultimate fire starter right here, okay? Super cheap. It's the best $20 you'll ever spend. Okay, but obviously if you're not near a vehicle, you're not going to hump that through the woods. And by hump, I mean carry it on your back. So if you have any questions, comments, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.